You're listening to Real Talk Texas on 570 KLIF News and Information. Now, live in studio, your host, local real estate expert Steve Hakes.
Welcome to Real Talk Texas. I'm your host, Steve Hakes, heard every Sunday here at noon on KLIF News and Information Radio. This is a Real Talk Texas show. And first off, I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. It's a great day. Hopefully your husbands and your kids are taking good care of you today. And, you know, it's noon. You're probably driving to a good brunch. And so, but don't turn off the radio. We've got a lot to talk about today. If you're in the real estate market, or if you're thinking about being in the real estate market, you need to stay tuned because we have a great guest here today in the studio. As our regular listeners know, I love being able to bring in real experts into our studio to talk about different topics that you may, as a listener out there, need in your life. It could be, you know, a trust attorney or a real estate agent or a mortgage person or a business loan. Those kind of things are the things we talk about here on Real Talk Texas. We also talk about financial planning at times as well. So you want to tune in every Sunday at noon. You never know what you're going to hear. One thing I can assure you, you're going to hear from some of the very best. And Paul Webb, our producer, he does a great job of really vetting out our guests that come on the show. We don't just bring anyone on the show. And so I wanted to first introduce our guest today, and that is Larry and Laurie Wall of the Wall team, and they're with RE/MAX Heritage in the Mid-Cities area, and they're here to talk about what's happening in the real estate market in North Texas, and then more specifically about the Mid-Cities area. So I want to first cover a little bit about what makes them special. And so first, I want to talk about Laurie. She's a third-generation realtor in Mid-City. So she and her family for many years have worked in that marketplace. So she has a great expertise. In the Mid-Cities, if you're listening in and you're not from that area, you're really talking about the Hearst, Euless, Bedford area, Colleyville, Southlake, Grapevine. That kind of area, that side of the airport, more focused there is where your practice is. Keller, probably, those things. Laurie's been in the business for 20 years, and Larry has joined forces with her. How long has it been, Larry?
Well, it's been about 15 years now, I think.
About 15 years they've been together, working this out. Of course, they're husband and wife, and so that works out well. As you guys, listeners have heard, you know, Dana, my wife, and I have been working together since '99 as well. So it's kind of fun to have another couple that works well together because a lot of people, I don't know if you guys get this, but a lot of people say, I can't believe you guys work together. How's that work, you know? But and I think you guys are probably one of those couples that just kind of complement each other and really take care of your business.
Mm-hmm. Sure. We respect the differences.
There you go. And so Laurie and Larry, they've helped over 1,000 families buy or sell homes throughout their years in real estate over the last 20 years. And Larry's got a little bit of a history on the radio, being a rock and roll DJ, I think is what I read.
Yeah, all the way back to the early 70s and into the mid-80s and early 90s, actually.
So I'm hoping that Larry will enjoy our show today because it's going to be fun. The other thing about them is, let's talk about some of their accolades. They've been recognized by D Magazine as one of the top producing agents. They've been named the best of the best for the last 3 years in Colleyville and Grapevine's realtors. And they've also, the Wall team finished number 7 top producing team in Texas amongst all of the RE/MAX teams in 2012, putting them in the top 100 RE/MAX teams in the nation. Very impressive. And I'm going to find out later how you did that. And that's, I'm always curious as to, you know, how do people become the best of the best? I mean, and I think our listeners would want to know that too, for their businesses and what they're doing. So, first, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Steve.
Good to be here.
First, I think I really would like to dig into the history of your company and your team. And Laurie, if you can expand a little bit about the 3 generations of realty. Tell me.
Well, back in the 60s, my grandmother actually sold all the new homes in Euless that were being built. She was a new home on-site person, and she recruited my father into real estate, and he later quickly went into the commercial side and then became a developer and developed subdivisions and office buildings and some shopping centers. And so when I was 19, he actually invited me into his business and started teaching me the real estate business.
Wow. What a great mentor, right?
He was a great mentor, and I'm forever thankful that he opened the door for me into real estate career because it's been a great career
And his name was Bill Pastor?
Bill Pasteur.
Pasteur. Mm-hmm. And Larry, when you guys first got together and started working, do you have any children that work with you in the business?
We don't. Our children are scattered all over the country, and we have two of them that live in the Metroplex, but they all have different interests at this point in time.
Yeah, well, I'm the same. Dana and I have the same thing. And I guess maybe they see how hard you work. In my kids, my oldest son, he's in a totally different business, in the food business. And my daughter's in nursing, and my middle son is getting his master's degree and still playing some football. Mm-hmm. So that they haven't decided to get into the mortgage business yet. Not sure that they will.
I know. Our kids are very, very successful in all the things that they do, and we're really proud of them. You never know what might happen one day, though.
That's right. That's right. So your office is actually in Colleyville, right?
Yes.
Okay, but you also have presence in Keller and Grapevine?
Yeah, at Keller and Southlake.
Okay.
And we are part owners of the RE/MAX Heritage offices, which we have about 60 agents in those two offices combined in Keller and Southlake.
Okay.
And then the Wall team itself operates exclusively out of Colleyville at the corner of Glade and Riverwalk. Okay,
tell me what your team's comprised of.
We have 9 and 1 new member coming on, so we'll have 10 on our team. We have 2 listing specialists, myself and another listing specialist. We have 3 buyer specialists, and we have 3 administrative employees who facilitate everything. And so it's a very powerful team of specialists.
Okay, great. And I hear you're looking for another person as well?
Yes, we are. We're looking to add 1 more listing specialist, and we're looking for that very special person. And if we found them this month, we'd bring them on. If it took a year, that'd be fine too. They've got to be just the right match.
Well, if you're listening out there and you're a realtor and you are that special person, make sure you reach out to the show here. I'm going to give you a number you can send a text to. And throughout the show, I'm going to remind you this number, and what you can send is a text that you want to be a listing agent, or say you want to buy or sell a home. Just reach in your pocket or in your purse and grab out your cell phone. Go ahead and put in this number. It's 817-925-2546. That's 817-925-2546, and that's the show here at Real Talk Texas. Just go ahead and send what you want from us, and we'll get you in touch with the Wall team, and we'll try to help you the best way we can. If you're driving, please go ahead and just leave a voicemail. Don't want you to get in an accident or get arrested in Arlington for texting while you're driving. I hear that's pretty expensive. So at least I know that from my son, Sean, who got one of those. Right after the law came out, it's kind of crazy. But stay tuned. We're going to talk about what's going on in North Texas as far as the market. We're going to give you really good tips and secrets from the Wall team as to how to make sure your house sells for the price you want to sell it for. How to make sure that your offer is accepted, because we know we got a hot market. We're going to fill you in a little bit more about what's going on there. So stay tuned. You're listening to KLIF, AM 570, the Real Talk Texas show.